Your 6-year-old looks you straight in the eye and screams, "I hate you. You're the worst mom ever." And for a second, the whole world stops. Maybe you turned off the TV. Maybe you said no to candy. Maybe you asked them to put on their shoes. And now they hate you. If you've ever felt that gut punch, that sting behind your eyes, that split second where you think, "Am I really that bad?" This video is for you. Because what I'm about to tell you will change how you hear those words forever. Hi, I'm Dr. Elena, and I'm a child psychologist specializing in emotional development and parent-child attachment. I've worked with hundreds of families navigating these incredibly painful moments. And I need to tell you something right up front. The first time my own daughter said, "I hate you," I was holding a bag of groceries in one hand and her little brother in the other. She was 4. I had just told her she couldn't have a toy at the checkout. And even though I know the science, even though I teach this stuff, I still felt it. That shock, that hurt. So I'm not here to tell you it doesn't sting. I'm here to tell you what's actually happening in your child's brain when they say it, why it's not what you think, and exactly what to say in that moment that will protect your relationship and teach them emotional intelligence. By the end of this video, you'll have a 4-step response method that works, and you'll never feel blindsided by those words again. First, let me ask you something, and I want you to answer honestly, even if no one's watching. Have you ever heard your child say, "I hate you," or something similar? If yes, just nod. Or if you're really brave, comment below how old your child was the first time it happened. Okay, now let me ask you this. In that moment, what did you feel? Most parents tell me they feel one or more of these: hurt, shocked, angry, guilty, or like a complete failure. And here's the thing. All of those feelings are valid. You're human. Words land on us, especially from the people we love most. But here's what I need you to understand. When your 5-year-old says, "I hate you," they are not making a measured, thoughtful assessment of your parenting or your relationship. They don't hate you. What they're actually saying is, "I'm completely overwhelmed by this feeling. I don't have the words for it, and you're the safest person to explode at." Let me say that again, because it's important. You are the safest person to explode at. Think about it. Does your child say, "I hate you" to their teacher, to the neighbor, to the cashier at the grocery store? Probably not. They save it for you. And I know that feels terrible, but it's actually a sign of secure attachment. It means they trust that you won't abandon them, even when they're at their worst. Now let's talk about what's happening in their brain, because once you see this, it completely reframes everything. When your child is in the middle of big emotions, frustration, disappointment, rage, their amygdala, the emotion center of the brain, is on fire. It's in full fight or flight mode. The prefrontal cortex, the part that helps with reasoning, language, and understanding consequences, basically offline. So they're searching for words to match the bigness of what they're feeling. And the biggest, most powerful words they know is, "I hate you." It's not truth. It's emotional vocabulary bankruptcy. They're trying to say, "I'm so mad I feel like I'm going to explode," but it comes out as, "I hate you." Here's a helpful way to think about it. Imagine you're an adult and you stub your toe really hard. You might yell a word you don't even mean. You're not actually cursing at the table. You're just expressing pain with the most intense word available. That's what your child is doing, emotionally. Now, some of you might be thinking, "Okay, but shouldn't there be consequences? Shouldn't I teach them that's not okay to say?" Yes, and we will. But the consequence isn't punishment, it's teaching. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that in just a minute. But first, let me tell you what not to do, because this is where a lot of parents accidentally make it worse.
Here's what most parents do when their child says, "I hate you." Tell me if this sounds familiar. Response number 1, they match the intensity. "Well, I don't like you very much right now either," or "How dare you say that to me? Go to your room." Response number 2, they collapse emotionally. They start crying, or they say, "That really hurts mommy's feelings. How could you say that?" Response number 3, they shut it down with shame. "We don't say hate in this house. That's a bad word. You're being very naughty." Now, I have compassion for all 3 of these responses because they come from real hurt. But here's what each one teaches the child. Response 1 teaches them that big emotions lead to more big emotions, and now you're both dysregulated. Response 2 teaches them that they have the power to destroy you emotionally, which is terrifying for a child. They need you to be the stable one. Response 3 teaches them that their feelings are bad and that you can't handle their emotional truth. None of those outcomes are what we want. So what do we do instead? I'm going to give you the exact script in just a moment. But first, let me tell you a story about a mom I worked with last year. Her name was Ashley, and her 7-year-old son, Caleb, had started saying, "I hate you," almost daily. It started small, once during homework frustration, but then it escalated. He said it when she asked him to clean up, when she said no to screen time, even when she reminded him to brush his teeth. Ashley came to me in tears. She said, "I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I feel like he really does hate me." We dug into what was happening. Turns out, Caleb had just started 2nd grade. He had a new teacher who was strict, his best friend had moved to a different class, and his little sister had just started walking and was getting tons of attention. Caleb's world felt out of control, and the only place he could safely fall apart was with his mom. Once Ashley understood that, everything shifted. The next time Caleb said, "I hate you," she didn't yell, she didn't cry, she didn't send him away. She knelt down, took a breath, and said, "You're really upset right now. I'm listening." Caleb paused. He wasn't expecting that. And then he started crying, really crying. And he said, "Everything is too hard and no one cares." That was the truth under the hate. Within 3 weeks of using the method I'm about to teach you, Caleb's "I hate yous" dropped to almost 0. And when he did have big feelings, he started saying things like, "I'm really frustrated," or "I need a break." He learned emotional language because Ashley taught him. Now, let me show you how she did it. But before I do, quick question. Drop a comment right now and tell me, what's the most hurtful thing your child has ever said to you? You don't have to share if it's too raw, but if you do, you'll realize you're not alone. I read every single comment, and I promise there's no judgment here, just understanding. All right, let's get into the method. When your child says, "I hate you," here's what you do. I call it the HEAR method. HEAR. It's simple, it's powerful, and once you practice it a few times, it becomes second nature. H stands for hear it without reacting. This is the hardest part, and it's the most important. When those words come out of your child's mouth, you pause. You take one deep breath. You do not react from your hurt. You stay calm. Your voice stays level. You might even soften your face a little. This doesn't mean you're a doormat. It means you're the regulated adult in the room, and regulation is contagious. You can say something simple like, "I hear you," or "You're really upset right now," or even just, "Okay." That's it. No lecture, no defense. You just hear it. E stands for empathize with the feeling.
Now you name what's under the words. You're translating for them. You say, "You're so mad at me right now," or "You're really frustrated that I said no," or "You're feeling really big feelings." You're not agreeing that you're a terrible parent. You're agreeing that they're feeling something real. This is where the magic happens, because you're teaching them that feelings can be named, and naming them makes them less scary. A stands for affirm the boundary. Now, once they've calmed down even a little bit, maybe 30 seconds later, maybe 2 minutes later, you gently, clearly, and calmly teach the lesson. You say, "It's okay to be mad. It's not okay to say, 'I hate you.' Those words hurt." When you're angry, you can say, "I'm really mad," or "I don't like this," or "You can come tell me you need space." Notice you're not shaming them, you're giving them better tools. And here's the key. You say this calmly, not in the heat of the moment. You wait until their nervous system has downregulated. R stands for reconnect. This is the step a lot of parents skip, and it's the one that actually seals the lesson. After things have settled, maybe 10 minutes later, maybe at bedtime, you reconnect. You might say, "Hey, earlier today you were really upset. I want you to know I love you, even when you're mad at me. We're okay." You might ask, "Do you want to tell me what was going on?" And you listen without judgment. This is when repair happens. This is when your child learns that conflict doesn't break relationships. Let me walk you through what this looks like in real time. Your daughter says, "I hate you. You never let me do anything." You take a breath. You say, "You're really mad at me right now." That's H. Hear it. She might yell more. That's okay. You stay calm. You say, "You really wanted to go to Emma's house, and I said no. That's really disappointing." That's E. Empathize. She starts to cry instead of yell. Good. That means she's shifting from anger to sadness, which is a step toward regulation. A few minutes later, when she's calmer, you say, "I know you were upset, but saying 'I hate you' hurts people. Next time, you can say, 'I'm really mad,' and I'll listen." That's A. Affirm the boundary. That evening, maybe during bedtime, you say, "I love you, even when we disagree. You're safe with me." That's R. Reconnect. That's the hear method. Hear it without reacting, empathize with the feeling, affirm the boundary, reconnect. Write it down. Try it today. You'll be shocked how much it changes the dynamic. Here's what I want you to remember. When your child says, "I hate you," they're not telling you who you are. They're showing you how big their feelings are and how much they trust you to handle them. That doesn't mean it doesn't hurt, but it does mean you're doing something right. You're raising a child who feels safe enough to fall apart with you. And that is a gift, even when it doesn't feel like one. Now, here's the thing. The hear method works beautifully when your child is verbally expressing big emotions. But what about the child who doesn't say, "I hate you"? They just shut down completely. They go silent. They withdraw. They won't talk to you for hours or even days. That's a different kind of heartbreak, and it requires a different approach. I'm going to cover that in my next video. It's called "When Your Child Shuts You Out: How to Reconnect with a Closed-Off Kid." And if your child tends to internalize instead of explode, you're going to want to watch that. But before you go, I need 2 quick things from you. First, if this video helped you see those painful words in a new light, hit the like button. It tells YouTube to share this with parents who need it. And second, comment below and answer this. What's one thing you wish your child understood about how much you love them? I read every single comment, and I think you'll find it healing just to put it into words. And if you want more scripts, tools, and real psychology that actually works in real life, subscribe and turn notifications on. I'm here every week. One last thing. Tonight, after your child is asleep, go look at them. Just for a minute. Look at their face, their little hands, the way they breathe, and remind yourself they're learning, they're growing, and so are you. The fact that you watched this whole video tells me you're the kind of parent who shows up, who tries, who wants to do better. And that matters more than you know. Give your child an extra hug tomorrow. Not because they've earned it, just because love isn't something we earn. It's something we give, again and again. I'll see you in the next one. You're doing a great job.